Welcome back to Shameful Locks. My name is Gabriel Costa. This is my co-host here, Mr. Blake Profio. We are here for a very anticipated Week 1 episode of Shameful Locks. We're really excited to break down some of these games and talk about some of the bets we like this week. If you haven't already, go check out our preseason future long bet episode. We had our Supreme Leader in for that one, which is a pretty rare thing. We usually don't get him in for many episodes. And I know we released that a few days ago, but if you haven't, like I said, go check it out if you want. But like I said, we are here for Week 1. And in case you did miss it in the season-long episode, just to give you a quick little update on how we did last year. Blake, you were massive last year with being positive 14.44 units on the year. I sucked last year until the second half, but I did finish strong. I finished last year positive 2.58 units. So just little track record keeping. If you're new or wanting to know how we finished last year before you start looking into the bets we're about to give, that way it might give you a good indication if you actually want to tail or not. But Blake, you excited?
Yeah, man, it's a whole new season, whole new year to get better, make some money, give the fans some good picks. So yeah, you finished hot last year, and then
Mhm.
I won that big bet with TJ Watt, of course. So yeah, let's get into week 1 and enjoy some football.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think Week 1 is arguably some of the hardest to bet
hmm
on because, like, especially for like game picks, you're like, shoot, a lot of these lines are tight. I don't know. Like, I think this team might be all right. They could not. I mean, you never know.
Yeah,
But
I think I struggled most with my game pick just because you don't really know who's going to be good, you don't know who's going to be bad, but the player props are, not as hard as the game picks in my opinion, but we'll see what happens,
I,
I guess.
I agree. I think a lot of the player props are really low right now,
hmm
for obvious reasons. They don't know what's going to happen yet. But yeah, without further ado, our usual format is we both give one game pick, one player prop, and then one shameful lock, which is just our best bet of the week. It can be anything. But Blake, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can start. I think I started
All
for the
right.
season long, so
That's true. You did. You did. Yeah, let me go ahead and start. Sorry, I'm running a two computer system here. Two player option here on the side here. All right, awesome. So my first pick is going to be my game pick this week, and I am going with the Vikings -1. They are playing the Giants in New York, or I guess technically New Jersey, is where the Giants Stadium is. But like I said, they're at Giants, and I'm a big fan of the Vikings this week just because I think the Giants suck. I think they suck so bad. I'm a big Daniel Jones hater, and I think a lot of people are expecting the Vikings to be worse than they actually are. I know last year Kirk Cousins went down probably a little bit before midseason, and then they had a QB carousel of Josh Dobbs. I don't even remember who they had at quarterback, to be honest, after
I don't
Dobbs,
know.
because he didn't play very well once they traded for him.
hmm
But they still went on to win like 8 or 9 games. So they're not like the worst team ever. And I think Sam Darnold, I know he's stepping in because JJ McCarthy decided to get hurt for the full season. So it's Sam Darnold's team this year, until proven otherwise. But I think Sam Darnold is not that bad. I think he's definitely better than Daniel Jones, I'll tell you that. And I think the Vikings around him, I think they still have a really solid team overall. They still have great offensive weapons. They got Addison, Hawkinson's still out for a while, but they got Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones. I mean, those are solid offensive pieces for Sam Darnold to work with. I just don't think that the Giants have that kind of offensive firepower, or they might be a little bit better defensively because they got Brian Burns, but I don't know. I don't trust the Giants. I think this is a just straight up just fade the Giants play, and I don't think the Vikings are going to be as bad as everyone thinks. I think that they'll still probably win 8 to 9 games. So give me Vikings -1. Again, I got that at -110 or -116. My apologies on DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's one of those games that they could go either way, but when you look at the Giants on paper, they lost Saquon. We don't know how Daniel Jones is going to be. Their defense is suspect, but yeah, the Vikings have Jefferson. They have Aaron Jones now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, he's been sitting at that 49ers program, and I think he probably learned a lot under Shanahan. So who knows? He could come out and light it up, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I agree.
Alrighty, moving on to my game pick. Like we said earlier, these game props week one are kind of tough. So this is a little bit of a shot in the dark, but we'll see what happens. So I took the Carolina Panthers +4. They go to New Orleans, and I got that -110 on DraftKings. So Carolina, I'm not sure if their defense got any better, but their offense definitely got better. They made some additions. I know they got Leggett in the draft. They have Deontay Johnson and Bryce Young. He could come out this sophomore year, and he could definitely be better. I know his rookie year wasn't great, but I'm not too high on the Saints. I think Derek Carr will be benched by like week 4
Oh,
minimum,
jeez.
and I think underdogs in week 1 are usually really good bets. I saw some stat they were like underdogs in the spread was like 90 and 60 or something like that. So yeah, shot in the dark. Carolina, who knows? They could shock everybody and beat the Saints or at least make it close. So see what happens.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick because it's +4, like you said. I could definitely see like a backdoor cover or something like
Hmm.
that. If the Saints were to win that game.
Yeah,
But supposedly the Panthers are going to be better this year. But again, that bar was set so low, and I
yeah.
know neither of us think highly of the Saints. So
Hmm.
yeah, I like that pick. I definitely like it specifically because you got it at +4. I think you might, worst case scenario, get a backdoor cover on that one.
Yeah.
Um, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll go over to my player prop of the week then. I am taking Rashad White, the running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am taking him over 20 and a half receiving yards this week. They play the Washington Commanders at home. And big reason I like this line, like I said, it's week one. So I think a lot of these lines are very low to start the season, and they will probably, this will definitely not be 20 and a half unless, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But within the next few weeks, Rashad White is a big receiving back for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers don't have much of a run game, and I know he's their lead back by a lot, but what they love to do is dump it down to him on a check down, and he'll pick up an easy first down. Last year, he crushed this line of over 20 and a half receiving yards in 13 of the 17 regular season games that they played. He went 1-2 in the playoffs, but I don't know. I really like this line. Like I said, I think this line's way too low. It's week one, so I think teams are going to be a lot more likely to check down because they're not going to see something they like. Their playbook isn't fully developed. I expect a lot of checkdowns in week one because of that reasoning. And yeah, give me Rashad White over 20 and a half receiving yards.
Yeah, I like this bet. I mean, I feel like they utilized him a ton last year in the passing game. And that from the Commanders, there's going to be a ton of opportunity for White to catch those passes. And I know Baker, he likes those short passes, short dump offs to the running back just to get into a rhythm. And he had a really good year last year. So I think it's fair to expect that he'll be able to get the ball to White and get over that 20 and a half, which seems pretty low. So,
It's really low.
mhm. All right. So moving on to my game pick. This is a familiar face, Najee Harris over 52 and a half rushing yards. I got this at -115 on DraftKings. So last year, Najee had kind of an up and down year, but he still averaged 60 yards a game. Um, the Falcons, they didn't have the worst defensive line last year, but I think looking at the Falcons defense, they're more so their secondary is pretty good. They have AJ Terrell, cornerback. They have Simmons. They have the two good safeties. So I think the Steelers are going to attack this team by running the ball. I don't really think they're going to air it out a lot, especially week one on the road. The strength of your offense is running the ball. I feel like Notch has kind of been overrated his whole career. He has over 1,000 yards every year, and watching him in the preseason, he looks like he's in his best shape yet. So the O line got a couple upgrades. I know they're injured a little bit right now, but 52 and a half yards for Najee. Who knows if Jalen Warren is going to be fully participant in that game. So we'll see what happens. But 52 and a half seems low. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's Arthur Smith revenge game, and you know what Arthur Smith loves to do? Give the ball to guys not named Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I think that's a solid pick. Again, I think that's another one of those lines that I think come a few weeks, that line's in the 60s. That you're not going to see that line in the 50s again in a few weeks. I think
Oh
it's a
yeah,
week one play like we were talking about, and yeah, I definitely like that. Uh, Close game too. It's going to be a close one. I think the
definitely.
spread is -3 right now for the
Yeah,
Falcons,
Falcons. Yeah,
but should be close. Should be close. We'll be watching.
we'll see.
All right. Shameful locks time. Best bet of the week. Last year, hold on, I have this pulled up here. Oh, my computer went to sleep. Oh, it's back up. Last year, Blake, you went on a crazy run to start. I think you started the year like 8-0 or something like that in your shameful
Yeah.
locks. You went on an immaculate run. Um, but you did fall down to earth a little bit towards the end of the season. You had a little bit of a tough stretch at the end. Last year on your best bets, you went 12-8 though. So winning record, that's what you want. That's what we want at the end of the day.
Hell yeah.
Last year I went 500. I went 10-10. So again, I had a really tough season last year in the first 8 to 9 weeks, and then the second half of the season plus playoffs, I really
hmm
really turned it on. So hopefully I can carry that momentum over this year. But for my first shameful lock of the season, official. Well, I guess this one will be the second one because we did some in the futures
Yeah.
episode, but this
hmm
one will be the first one to finish, I guess. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to a good old Gabe Old Reliable type bet. These are some of my iconic bets. I'm very well known for these. I love field goal bets. They're fun and they're stupid. Nobody likes a game where field goals are kicked, so I'm going to a one where I expect some. I'm going to Chargers Raiders over 3.5 field goals total in the game. Um, I think that this is going to be a slugfest. It's going to be like a 19-17 type game. It's going to be something really stupid. Um, this game is tied for the lowest over-under of the week at 40.5, and it's favored on the under. Harbaugh's back with the Chargers, and as much as I hate him, I know he loves to run the ball, play action pass. It's going to be feel bad for Herbert. He's probably not going to get the ball a lot. It's going to be a lot of 4-yard runs. Oh no, we couldn't. We got stuck on 4th and 8 because run got stopped. Darn, field goal. Dicker the kicker. Two good kickers in this matchup too. They like I said, they got Dicker the kicker on the Chargers and Carlson on the Raiders, who's got a great leg. So both kickers are pretty good from range, so there is no limitations on that front. Um, I just don't expect a lot of touchdowns here, and as always, back to reliable week one field goals. Give it to me.
Yeah. I feel like you definitely won most of your field goal bets last year. I think there was only like one or two you lost, and you probably bet maybe at least 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of your bread and butter. So Chargers Raiders. I mean, is anyone even going to watch that game? I don't know. I don't
Oh,
think
I will
so.
be for some field
Yeah,
goals.
you'll be like one of like five people watching. So
It's gonna be
um,
so bad.
yeah, good pick though. I like it. So I will be riding that. But my shameful lock of the week, we got James Cook over 62.5 rushing yards. I got that -120 on DraftKings. So looking at the Bills, they always dominate inferior teams at home. Um, the Cardinals, they have one of the worst rush defenses in the league and just defenses in general. I can't name one player in their defense, to be honest with you. Um, James Cook, he averaged 78 yards per game at home. And I know two of those games he had like 179 against the Cowboys and then like 150 or something against the Broncos. So he exploded a couple times. Um, yeah, and then the Bills, they don't have a ton of wide receiver options. So I think they're just going to run the ball. And then he's a great young player. I think he might be a top 10 back this year in fantasy. So I think they're going to feed him. And yeah, over 62.5.
Nice. I like that one. Yeah, I think you make a really good point because they're playing the Cardinals. I think that game has to be probably one of the highest over-unders of the week. I think it's at like 48 and a
Yeah,
half.
yeah,
I think Lions and Rams has that beat out for a higher total. But I expect that Cardinals Bills game to definitely be a higher scoring game. Um,
definitely.
just because the Cardinals, I don't know anyone on their defense. I can't
No,
name a
good
player.
offense though.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for their offense. As you know,
hmm
I'm a big Marvin guy all over the fantasy world and my future bets. And I think Kyler will have a good season as well. But yeah, James Cook. Give it to him. Give it to the kid.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, this is those are our shameful locks, so we'll let those simmer. We're excited for those. But something we started last year, we didn't do this all season long, but we did this after it looks about week 6 is when we started doing this. We do the joint TD parlay. What we do is we both pick one guy to pick a anytime touchdown, and we parlay the two guys and just ride it. We don't count this towards our overall record. We count this as a whole different category here, and it's just for fun. It's fun to throw 10, $20 on this every week and just see how it goes. But we did pretty well on these last year. Our record was 6-9, which that is a losing record, but because these are parlays, we're getting them at somewhere between plus 300 to plus 500, sometimes even 600. I think we had a plus 700 last year at one
Yeah.
point.
Hmm.
But like I said, we were 6-9 on these last year. But if you were betting $10 on every single one of these parlays last year, you would have been up $234.40. So that's a big, big return.
Oh yeah.
Big fan of these. These are fun, but I'm excited for these because, like I said, they were cooking last year. Um, so without further ado, I'm going with Aaron Jones to be my touchdown scorer this week. I'm not sure what his overall just for him were odds wise, but we've got the total odds. I'll give it to us at the end here, and what book to do it. But like I said, he's playing for the Vikings now. They're going against the Giants. He's their premier back. I think they have Ty Chandler as the backup. I know Sam Darnold, like I said, I think he's better than whatever they had last year. But I think they're definitely going to lean on Aaron Jones, especially in the red zone, lead towards the veteran. Aaron Jones, very solid running back. I think he's really good. Give me Aaron Jones anytime touchdown scorer this week.
Yeah, good pick. I mean, I think he's going to be a big piece of that offense. So I like that as part of the touchdown parlay. I'm going with Dalton Kincaid. I'm not
Good.
sure the exact odds on that. I think you got those together and figured that out, but I
Yep.
think he might be Josh Allen's favorite target this whole season. So I expect him to get a lot of red zone looks and a lot of looks in general. So I think it's a good bet.
Yeah, I take out Stephon Diggs, throw in Kincaid. I think you're right, and they lost Gabe Davis too. So Keon Coleman or Dalton Kincaid. Give me Kincaid, the guy who's been there. But yeah, if you combine those, we got those for plus 550 on DraftKings. Definitely shop that around because I think some other books were offering way lower odds. I think FanDuel's were in the 400, so a plus 150 differential there.
Mhm.
Excuse me. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Like I said, we were hot on those last year, and it's just that time of the year, man. Leaves are changing. Fantasy drafts are happening. We had our friend one last night. Blake missed half of it.
Yeah,
Darn work.
don't want to talk
Um,
about it.
but no, it's great. It's a great time. College football's back. I got free tickets to the Ohio State game this weekend, night game, versus
Hype.
good old Western Michigan in the MAC. We love the MAC, big MAC fans here on the
Mhm.
show. But yeah, week 1, without further ado, let it run, let it rip.